Welcome to Out of the Noise. I'm Priestess Lilly, a channeler, sacred heart healer, and space holder. My purpose is to create content to help humanity rise in consciousness through connection. And I do this by channeling, by having courageous conversations that will leave you activated, alongside heart centered leaders, wisdom keepers, and divine humans expanding into their authenticity and soul purpose. So, together, we can craft and see a different world from a higher level of consciousness and help each other on our own spiritual journeys. Woo! Hasn't it been a big weekend? It has been a phenomenally huge weekend. And I always said that October, things were going to become so much more clearer, and we were going to have the opportunity to restore balance and harmony back into our lives and back into the collective. And in previous recordings, I've mentioned that change was on the horizon. Right at the start of the year, I mentioned that we would see a national and act government, and here we are. We've got a national and act government. I also said, a few months ago, don't discount Winston Peters. And he is going to play a pivotal role in this new government being formed. But not only that, he is there to be the disruptor. He's there to be the disruptor, to bring forward into the light the many things that we have been not been able to see, that has been masked. It's going to be a significant 6 to 8 months as we really start to the veil starts to lift at another conscious level. Over the weekend, we witnessed a number of weather manipulations and disturbance aimed to stop the process of democracy. I'm just going to say it today. I'm not going to fluff stuff up. And, this was in a number of different communities that very much had a way that were very much going to vote differently and have a wave of conscious awareness around them. North Canterbury, Canterbury, and it was not only that, it was the lack of resources to actually allow people to vote. Technology failed us, and New Zealand, it was a variety of different avenues. New Zealand really embraced the call for change. But the question lingers, is it enough? Was the change enough to keep us at bay from the World Economic Forum and the UN? Or did we simply vote to get out of the clutches of, what we already previously had? Or have we just really maintained the status quo? We will see, we will see, we will see. I don't think intuitively we've done enough of radical change. I think that there has been a significant layer of manipulation in some forms that no one wants to talk about, or not our media to start with. Whew, big energy. Additionally, we have now welcoming the Maori Party back to Parliament. And I have to say, it was quite amazing, watching some of those politicians actually see the direct feedback from their communities. I have to say, for myself, there was a moment where I was celebrating. There's a few bad actually they're all bad, but there's a few people that still need some sorting out. But I think gradually the New Zealand people will start to see it over time and over this next 3-year period. Ugh, shouldn't be saying this, but anyway, we ain't got time to piss around. So the Maori Party, there is a growing awareness among the Maori people, and that they are awakening to the figures that the elite Maoris have sold them out and compromised their principles. Meanwhile, Auckland, Auckland, the city that was most locked down during the pandemic. Boy, oh boy, did you give feedback. And it was breathtaking to watch. So, where are we now? We've experienced 2 significant energetic collapses in the month of October, and I've spoken about them in the previous recording. And we've just had one that has just come over us on the 14th and 15th. And so we have very much had the shadow, and everything that has been hidden in the darkness is coming to the light right now as we speak over this next 2-week period. And then we go into another significant eclipse on the 28th of this month. And that energy, we can really start to feel, the energy shifting around us. We are consciously going to have more of our own intuitive guidance dropping in, and we are going to start to feel the impact of change, the impact of the collective world energy, and what that looks like as a whole over this next, few months. This is a soft opening to a bigger narrative, people. In Australia, the recent vote has divided the population in the yes-no camp. And we're likely to see this as a conscious splitting of Australia as they move into a more transformational energy and begin to heal over the next coming months. Canada, Trudeau. Wow. Canada, there is going to be some mass disturbance in Vancouver and around Canada that is going to force more people to awaken and more people to question the current status quo of leadership in that country. And their voices or this disruption is very much going to be heard. We find ourselves for the month of October, really, this period is a wild card energy. Anything can happen. It is intense. It is radical shifts. It is an intense portal. It is transformational. It is the darkness coming to light, the darkness before the storm. We're going to see dirty money. We're going to see, when I say dirty money, we're going to see dirty money in politics. We're going to see dirty money in payoffs to big pharma. I'm just going to say it. This might come from out of our country, but we're going to start to see a disclosure of more information and like there's this set of books and there's also the shadow set of books. Things are coming to light in the collective energy. And this is old energy coming forward. When I say secrets coming to light, in New Zealand, there's been some massive realizations. The 1,100, I think it was, medical doctors that were given vax exemptions. How does that make you feel? And there's more of that truth. There's more of that truth coming out of left field, that truth of awaiting, discovering that is going to unfold in the next few months, a bigger, the unfolding of the crumbling of a fake narrative. We are also the sense of the weight that we are carrying as a collective energy, the sense of the weight that our land is enduring, the trauma that Mother Nature is receiving as an impact of our footprint and our inability to create peace and harmony. It is crucial that we acknowledge the impact that we are currently burdening Mother Nature with, Mother Earth with. And over the next 3 to 4 weeks, she's going to choose to release some of that energy and bring about a mass transformational shift. And like any shifts that you receive, there's always an element of fear. There's always an element of not being able to control. We need to let go in order for us to hold our purest vibration of light and change. I know many people in the collective right now, their capacity is stretched, you know, and they feel that there's no more, you know, they're stretched. There's no more room for movement. There's not a lot of light coming in. There's not a lot of hope. There's not a lot of change. They are maxed out. Their cup is full and it is done. And what I want to say to those people, because I know those people come to me. Sometimes when we think we're having a breakdown or we're exhausted and we're stuck in that energy, we're stuck because it's an opportunity to have a breakthrough. When we as a collective or as individuals we are in our own form of suffering, it's an opportunity to become more clearer in our own needs, to receive the guidance that we want to receive. Through suffering, we always are brought to the light. It might not be initially what you want to see or hear or sit with, but then it's an opportunity of great change. Through challenges, diversity, there is always movement. So I just want to end there. So I'm going to use this deck today because this is the deck I feel very cool to, the Muzz Tarot. And I haven't used tarot so far to start with. This is a beautiful deck that there is magic and truth. There is truth in my veins, where my blood speaks and soothes and my mind has no rents. This deck I haven't used before. I've had this deck for a wee while. So with tarot is a bit different. There's 4 sets to tarot, but I'm going to ask the question, what will serve us as a collective moving forward, and what do they just want to share? It's not the cards. I'm real chatty today. All right, I knew they were going to start jumping. So this deck, where in the past tense with tarot, you normally have pentacles, okay, completely gone. I'm sure people will know there's one more card coming, because they just said to me there's one more card. This deck is a lot different. This deck is here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this deck's a lot different. Where in past tarots you normally have pentacles, swords, hearts, and something else. Can't remember. Completely gone today. No one's at home. That's me. So that's just it, because that's just it. This deck's different. This deck comes through as voices, inspiration, and material. And emotions. So it is a lot different to the normal standard stock tarot. Okay, so the first card that I got was Muzz of Voices. Okay, I just want to show you. Muzz of Voices. The second card is the Lover's card. And the last card is the Nine of Inspiration. Really different to the normal cards that I have used in the past, but they just spoke to me today, these cards. So let me just feel into them and we'll come out with what they are here to tell us today for our highest good. So I very much feel this card, the Muzz of Voices. This is about movement. This is about moving forward in life, being on the platform and starting to walk the talk and starting to share your voice and move into the direction of where you're needing to go to. This is about allowing your voice to be heard and fine tuning your throat chakra, which I think is really, really important right now. Many of us aren't speaking our truth out of fear of what we will be, what people will think about us, what people will say about us. But I really feel like we are really fine tuning our hearts with our voice and being able to speak our truth freely. And it's interesting that this energy is earthbound. So this is a lot of people's learning in this lifetime. The next card's the Lover's card. You know, I feel that this card is actually a representation of relationships changing. So when I say relationships changing, I want to say relationships changing with our loved ones, but relationships changing with ourselves. We are learning right now to fine tune our emotional bodies, our spiritual bodies, our physical bodies. And I feel like this is around loving, fine tuning, and loving, you know, being committed to self, sitting in your emotions, not running away from what your emotions. It's very much about being the lover, the nurturer, the connector, the receiver of your own energy field. You're nurturing you, you know, giving you what you need rather than looking for it outside of yourself. As, can you fix me? Can looking for the, you know, the new handbag that will fix how I feel, the new you know, whatever, the new shiny flash thing. This is about, and this is also about us falling in love, falling in love, falling in love with ourselves, falling in love with the world, spreading the love into the world. When we right now, you know, there's so much destruction, there's so much old energy coming forward, that needs to be healed. And this is what's happening in Israel and with the Palestinians right now. That is old energy that's being dispersed on the collective world. That's really needing healing. It's old trauma coming forward that's been suppressed out of generational wounds. And, you know, that's also deep state. I would just say that too, creating a narrative. Right. And the last card. Everything happens in divine harmony. That's just kind of fluent, so I'm just going to go with that. Everything happens with divine harmony, and this is about you, um, like being the calm in the storm, being the best grounded version that you can be in order to step into the light with no fear, with no judgment, with just being able to hold that significant vibration that is needed right now to enter into the new version of you and the new earth transmission, the new earth, the new earth. This is about you holding steady, you holding your truth, you holding your ancient codes of wisdom, the ancient codes of what you came here to co create. And it's really about aligning yourself more to soul than the illusion of what you think you need to be. Bang. That's where I'm going. Have a phenomenal day, people. Enjoy and so much love.